I think Daniel's gonna be a rapist. Whoa, I'm sorry. But the way he was trying to lure Cassie into having sex with him was disgusting. He was trying to use his charm, but it wasn't working. I think in an episode he's gonna get tired of playing the nice guy and show some sides of his father. In the interview with Cassie, Sydney, she said she's gonna take a dark turn. Maybe this is why. What? Who's his father? I'm sorry, if I'm missing something. Who the fuck is this man's father? And two, he already showed who the fuck he was. She wouldn't give him any, and he got mad and like fucking cussed her out. Like, what do you mean? We already see who he is. I don't think he's a rapist. That's really a fucking reach. See a dick? Yeah. But he's just like, I hate that this is like normal for teenage boys, but that's it. They're just trying to get their stick wet, and that doesn't mean he's a rapist. Now, if she actually had sex with him, yeah, it's kind of coercion, but I don't think it was really anything. From what I remember, I don't think he was really on some crazy like coercive type shit. He was just like, come on, you know how boys do, but damn, saying he's gonna be a rapist, that's kind of wild. And this in this picture the page used, like, it makes it look worse. He's just like super interested and finds her hot, and don't forget that she did that whole thing at the carnival, so the whole time he's thinking she's into her. Does that make it okay for him to talk to her the way he did? No, but I'm just saying, bro. Yeah, we gotta do better, bro. A rapist? That's fucked up. And for real, who is his father? Can somebody tell me? Because I'll have to watch again, but am I missing something? Who is his fucking father? Y'all got me all over the place, bro. This is... But, oh yeah, this is another one. Sydney said that Cassie's gonna take a dark turn. Yeah. Because of the fucking abortion, okay? And not having anybody that truly fucking loves her. Like, what do you... That's why she's gonna take a dark turn. I think that's fucking why. The point that her story left off on, that's the reason why she's gonna take a dark turn. Not because Daniel fucking rapes her. Jesus Christ. Hi, I have a confession. Oh my god, I hate when people do that. So, I really hope that in season 2, the show mentions why Nate hates his mom so much. I've always been curious about that, and I know there's already, theories about if Nate's dad molested him. Ooh. But, here's what I think when I hear that theory. When Nate and Cal fight, Cal was on top of him while Nate was in his underwear, and his bed was literally right there. If Cal did molest Nate, maybe those details caused him to have a breakdown. Even with that, those tapes he found as a kid probably just added on to the stress. Also, Nate's trauma is not an excuse for his actions, period. Also, sorry if this had already been said. Another confession. So I recently saw someone say that Gia was being irresponsible for getting high and stuff at parties, and I could see the other person's perspective, but people need to remember that Gia saw her own sister being carried away by paramedics. That shit is traumatic, and now she's literally scarred for life, and she will always have that image in her head. She's going through stuff, and yes, getting high isn't the answer, but people turn to that stuff when they need to get off the edge. I'm not saying getting high is good for you. LMAO, Rue literally overdosed. Not on weed. Anyway, so this, I have little to say about this because I'll probably touch more on it in another video. I do have a video coming up, yay, where I predict some things going down in season 2, and I kind of talk about Nate's mom a little bit, but anyway, it's nothing that y'all can't hear twice. Basically, I don't know. I think the reason that we were told Nate hates his mom is actually the reason that he hates his mom is because she's weak. I'm trying not to say what I said in the other video, but I'll probably go back and watch it and be like, oh girl, it wasn't even that deep, you could have just said it. But anyway, I think it's obvious the way that Nate was raised, that his dad was really like strong on the toxic masculinity, and you see it with Nate. He's very masculine in a toxic way. So to think that his mother is weak-minded is probably piggybacking off of what his father thinks, and I find it hard to believe that it's anything other than that, because obviously Cal does not really love Nate's mom anymore because he is cheating on her with other people. Now, do I think it's a deeper story to, you know, what makes him think that she's weak-minded? Yeah, it's probably some shit that he saw when he was younger, and I agree with them. I'm very interested in seeing what that is. I just feel like there's not much I can say about this, so I'm just gonna go to this next part, and we're gonna talk about this because, see, the trap that some people fall into when they watch some shows, you know, want to give some commentary on it, is y'all forget the context, right? She's like 14, right? She's 14. Peer pressure is a thing. And I kind of talked about this in the prediction video too, but I don't care. Again, she's 14. Peer pressure is a thing. She saw her sister overdose. Yes, she did. And that is traumatic. Like they said, who are you to say how she should handle that trauma? Again, I'm gonna defend Gia. If that's the last thing I do, I'm gonna defend Gia. So anyway, also, it was weed. Now, she was shooting up, sniffing pills like Rue. Okay, it's like, girl, why are you doing the same shit? But she's not. It's weed. Weed is more socially acceptable today. So when literally everyone you know in your grade, in your age group that you hang out with is smoking weed, you're probably going to fall into doing that. And it's probably, she, you know, I can't say, for a 14-year-old, I cannot say, oh, you should have known better. Shame on you for smoking weed when your sister overdosed on drugs. Why the fuck would you do that? Come on. She's dealing with the same trauma Rue is. Probably even more, probably to a higher extent. She lost her father as well, and she had to witness a lot of turmoil in her family after her father passed because Rue's addiction. There's no telling. And then also the fact that she probably lives with the fear every day that she's gonna walk in on her sister overdosing again. Man, lay off her. She's 14 in the show. 14, or I keep saying 14 like I know for sure, but I'm pretty sure she's 14 or 15. She's like a freshman in high school, right? That's 14, that's 15, right? Anyway, she's not, stop, man. She's not that old to where you should be holding her accountable. That's all I gotta say. Leave Gia alone, bro. Like, I'm not playing. Leave her alone, because like this person is not who I'm talking to, but I know there's like a small percentage of the community that thinks the same way as the people she's talking about, that Gia should know better, blah blah blah. No, she's 15 or 14. Leave her alone, bro. She's a child. And you know what? I'm gonna go on a limb and say we're gonna be even more pissed off at her, like on a big brother, big sister, parent type level in season 2, because she's gonna do some more shit. Because again, she's 15. And I don't know about y'all. This is the last point, I promise. I don't know about y'all, but I know for a fact my mom tried to tell me so much shit about what life, you know, a whole bunch of shit about life and what I should do in some cases. And you know, basically teaching me from her experience. Did I listen? No. At my big age, is this still a thing that happens? Yes. I still don't listen. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate. It's just life. Sometimes you have to bump your head and let Gia bump her head without trying to say that she should know better. She's 15. 15. Here's a confession everyone's gonna hate. Obviously, every human has inherent biases, but for a fandom that's so pretentious and claims to really understand the show, they really miss one of the main points of Euphoria. Everyone is flawed. People have no problem with accepting that when it comes to Rue, Lexi, Cassie, Fez, and sometimes Maddie, but it's lost on people when it comes to Kat, Jules, and McKay. What's the common denominator here? I can tell you that, but I'm gonna keep reading. When Rue, Cassie, and Fez make a mistake, the fandom goes, well, they're human and they had sad childhoods. Give them a break. But when Kat, Jules, and McKay make a mistake, they get called all sorts of names and are given no sympathy. How is anything Kat done worse than what Cassie and Fez has done? Yet the latter two are almost universally loved. And after the Jules episode, if you hate Jules, then you're just straight up transphobic. And for Kat, I think a lot of fans have an issue with the fat girl with confidence. But the best way the whole missing the message thing is seen is with Cassie and McKay. I'm gonna be blunt, a sizable majority of the fandom comprises of teenage white girls. There's no issue with that, of course, but it's a fact. Cassie is an interesting character, and I hope she finds happiness in season 2, but I can recognize that she has flaws. Cassie is seen as one of the most relatable characters, which makes sense since most of the fandom is the same demographic as her, and the relatableness is rotting some of your brains. Cassie is a great example of the message of the show. Everyone's flawed, but the fandom acts as if she's an angel, and I'm not exaggerating in the slightest. A lot of the fandom is unable to see the flaws with Cassie, but with McKay, they see all flaws. McKay isn't perfect either, of course. Sorry to get political, but it seems to be in the name of feminism. Wow, that wasn't that wasn't the direction I thought they were going in, but I'm gonna keep reading. The fandom is acting racist towards McKay. There it is. He hurt the feelings of the pretty white girl, so now he's a demon. The fandom ignores the fact that Cassie not only told her friends about McKay's sexual assault, but then chose to cheat on him the day after he was assaulted right in front of her. I'm sorry, but that's so fucked up to me. How is anything McKay did worse than that? Is being a coward and being opinionated towards possibly becoming teen parents seriously worse than trivializing sexual assault to some of y'all? Are y'all serious? Do you hear yourself? I'm gonna repeat. I fully understand that Cassie is a flawed character, and I don't hate her for this, but it's nowhere near as bad as McKay, and certainly doesn't make her an angel. I can't believe I'm saying this, but imagine if the roles were reversed. If Cassie got sexually assaulted, and McKay decided to tell Nate, then cheat on Cassie the day after it happened, there would be riots for McKay's head. Now let me go back to my original point. The fandom doesn't get to act all high and mighty for understanding and enjoying the bridge episode when they're not even able to fully grasp one of the main messages of the show. Every time I see someone make fun of a usually younger fan for not liking the bridge episode and claiming that they only watch Euphoria for the aesthetic, I laugh since they also missed a major point of the show. That's all. Sorry for the link. This person spilled. I'm sorry, and if you're new to this channel, then you don't know where I stand on the whole McKay situation, but I totally agree, and I feel the same way about Kat and Jules. Especially with Jules, a lot of people's dislike for her comes from transphobia. I'd say toward the beginning of, when we only had season 1, it was kind of understandable where people were coming from. They're like, oh, she's toxic, she's leading Rue on, blah, blah, blah. But there would be people who would go way too far with it, like way too far. And it would become obvious that you just dislike her because she's trans. And what they said about if you still hate on Jules after this bridge episode, you're transphobic, I completely agree with that, because as someone who, I wouldn't say I was completely on the train that Jules was toxic, but I would say that I believe that there was like codependency there, or Rue is way too dependent, whatever. But the bridge episode for Jules showed a totally new perspective that myself and a lot of people didn't even think about. It was such a unique perspective, and it answered all of our questions. It laid everything out on the table. It was like, okay, what reason do you have not to like her now? You know what I'm saying? Because for most people, they'd hide behind Rue. But that's, now it's kind of obvious. You kind of just don't like her. And it's not to go on a full tangent about Jules. I could do the same for McKay and Kat. But they made a great point that the least liked characters of the whole show are minorities of some sort. You have a trans woman, I don't want to say fat, because Barbie is really not fat. She's just like hella thick. But for the sake of the show, we'll say fat, and I don't want to say fat. A bigger girl and a black male. But when it comes to McKay, I feel like they hit the nail on the head with that, because we saw him do in season 1 was nowhere worse than what we saw Cassie do in season 1. And actually the way they phrased it made it sound even worse than what I originally thought, and it's actually more accurate. She, like they said, she witnessed him being sexually assaulted, went and ran and told her friends, and then cheated on him the next day. And while I agree that what both of them did is nowhere close to the worst of the worst we've seen on the show. I mean, we saw Nate literally blackmail. You know, Nate is in his own little fucking bubble. But ultimately, what I'm trying to say is that some people feel like cheating isn't really that big of a deal. Fine. And to that point, I'll argue that some people don't really feel like wanting an abortion is a big deal. Fine. But the fact that McKay is obviously one of the most disliked characters on the show, it seriously makes me wonder. It's insane how much hate that man gets for. I really have to think for a second. What is the worst thing he did the whole season? He was a little bitch. I'll call him a little bitch, alright? I ain't scared. He was a little bitch, okay? How the fuck you scared of Nate? Why the fuck you care about what Nate says so much? He's a high school senior. You are in college, sir. You better leave that man behind. Anyway, he was a little bitch. He wanted an abortion. I mean, and he was a little... I can't even throw in the fact that he was a little mean towards Cassie. I mean, it's just the way that some people jump through hoops to make it seem like he was abusive or, you know, something on that level, when it really wasn't all of that. But anyway, basically what I want to say is this person didn't lie one fucking moment, and it really makes me wonder about the general, like, the unconscious biases of the fan base and everything. Because it's like, what has McKay done? Honestly, I guarantee you, I wish I had the means to do this, but I guarantee you, if we laid out what Cassie and McKay have done to each other and put it out there for people who have never watched the show to vote on which one is worse, I guarantee you Cassie wins unanimously. Unanimously. It's insane. But people treat him like he's fucking worse than Nate, which I don't get. You still have people out here shipping Nate with people. It's insane to me. So I can talk about this all day if y'all gave me the chance to. But I'm just gonna cut it short and just say, like I said, this person spilled, they didn't lie, they're absolutely onto something. The 3 most hated characters on the show are minorities of some sort. And I feel like that's just a reflection of the fan base, and I wish it wasn't, because it's really embarrassing. I don't know if embarrassing is the word to use, but it's really sad when you see people who enjoy this show get on the internet and literally bash McKay, Kat, and Jules for no other reason other than some really underlying bigotry. It's really sad, and I fucking hate it, but they're absolutely right. There's no way I disagree with this confession.